This weekly candle down here is a drop in the ocean in comparison to what we want to see happen. We're just in the beginning of what's actually going to happen. And the moment we start to hear people say that this bull cycle is officially over, is the moment you want to make sure you're ready to start buying. We need mass liquidation, mass capitulation, extreme fear in the market for us to then put in most of our money. So this is why it's important in this video. What I'm going to be discussing is where do I think the market's going to go and how the market has reacted over this last week. Let's start off on the total market cap chart. What we can see on the weekly is we forecasted this move down here. We were expecting for price to get to this region down here. Why? Because price came to a key area. If I just put on this fib first, we tapped into the OTE level 1 to 3 times, rejected away from it, bang, we've come down. First thing. Second thing, let me just remove this, is if I just draw in a dealing range from this swing low to this swing high, I want to see price get to at least the midpoint. When we get to the discount side of this dealing range, that's when we want to start making sure we're ready to put in some capital in the market. On the daily time frame, what we can see is, if I just remove this for now, what we can see is price is pretty much at a double bottom area. We're in a market maker sell model. And what I've noticed is quite a lot of the time, the market maker model doesn't get fulfilled in one go like this. We normally leave a double bottom or some form of gap between it. Price comes back up first, then we come back down. That's what I've noticed in the crypto market trading the ICT strategy. So what we can see right now is, and what I'm expecting is, so if I just put this fib back on, we've had the OTE level rejection. Overall, my targets are around these regions. I've mentioned it multiple times in this channel. I'm putting in this dealing range. I want price to come to bare minimum 3.6 trillion. Ideally around 3.5 to 3.32 trillion. Now, what's happened over the last week in the market? What we can see is price rejected this region. We've taken out all this liquidity and we've come down. From a technical point of view, this is exactly what we were expecting. Fundamentally, looking at the news and anything like that, I don't really watch much news. I don't listen to news. I do analysis based on the technicals, and that's it. And it's worked out fantastic. Now, we've rejected off an inverted fair value gap down here, and there's a possibility we're going to come back up. Now, what I'm going to be looking at, so there's two key things, because what we can put on now is a couple of things. Let's put on this order block first. Let's put on this new dealing range from here to here. Okay, and then we have a fair value gap above as well. Now, if price does bounce from this area, if we get a rejection from this area, if price comes back up, I'm expecting to price come into at least the premium side of this dealing range. And once we get that rejection to the premium side of the dealing range, we can roll over. Now, although that's what I'm expecting, there's a possibility that this bounce can actually be much higher than we're anticipating. I said it in my previous video, because what we could see happen now is a couple of things. Let's go to the weekly time frame. So what we can see possibly is this move down here. We've tapped into this OTE level. If by some miracle we don't close within this region, we close above it, so the weekly time frame will close with a wick, there's a very high possibility that we're going to come back up and we're going to come and take out all-time highs. The reason why I say that is because, let's go on the daily time frame. We are now rejecting off a level of this inverted fair value gap. We've rejected off the 78.6 level. There's a possibility, of course, we closed on the daily below it, but there's a possibility we're going to come back up. If we close above this level on the weekly, this is our sign that price can come back up a bit more deeper. And this drive down here is going to be the alts moving. That's what I'm seeing short to medium term on the total market cap chart. Now, if we do get the full-blown move to the downside, and there's a very high possibility that can happen if we close below this level on the weekly time frame. If we do, what I expect for the next week, price to come back up, possibly reject off some key areas like I mentioned to you, kaboom, come to our region. So those are the scenarios that I'm expecting right now. It's hard to decipher right now where we're going to go until we've closed on the weekly time frame. And that's why I'm going to create another video on Sunday or on Monday to update you on where I'm expecting price to go based on the weekly close. We also have a monthly close. Let's go on the monthly time frame. Let's see what we can see. So this is interesting. In my previous video, I told you exactly what I'm looking at on the monthly as well. If we're closing like this on the monthly, we've got this fair value gap down here. We've got this dealing range down here. We want price to come deep into, bare minimum, into this range here. But if it does come deeper, there's a possibility we can go much lower. And this is our sign to buy. The moment people start saying the bull cycle's over is the moment we want to start buying. When you see it on social media, when you hear people say that it's over, when you see mass capitulation, liquidations getting taken out, that's when you want to start looking at the market and start buying. What I want to see to officially call the cycle is over is official break on market structure on the monthly time frame. So imagine this is the monthly time frame. I want to see this. I want to see an official break of market structure down here and a close below. And we haven't had that. So I'm going to be waiting. Let's go over the BTC chart. So on the weekly time frame, first things first, we have come into the discount side of this dealing range. We know we have liquidity resting below on this red line down here at around 107K. There's a lot of liquidations getting ready to get swept. We want price to come into this area. Overall, my target is at least to the 100K, if not lower, around 98 to 96K. That's where I want price to go. So what's happened this week? We had a rejection, like I said, of the 61.8. We had a rejection of this similarly with the total market cap chart, and we bounced away from it. Tapped into the fair value gap, rejected away from it. So what I'm expecting on BTC is a continuation to the downside. Now, this all depends on what happens on the total market cap chart, of course. However, BTC, we're pretty far away from this low down here. On the daily time frame, what we can see is we rejected off this order block and we've bounced back up. Now, there is a possibility that we're going to continue going to the upside. And if we do, I would then expect price to come and take out at least the 118K region. Because remember, this is what I was saying to you guys. I want price to come a bit more deeper into this area. If we tap into about 118 to 119K, that's when I want to start seeing the rollover to the downside. There was no official buys on anything just yet. I'm going to go into Ethereum in a second. Now, to just summarize on BTC, what I'm expecting is, again, similarly to the total market cap chart, we can continue coming down and my regions are 100K. If we stay and close above on the total market cap chart at the region that I told you, there's a possibility for us to come back. Now, the scenarios that we can have down here are a couple, because what we can see in the short term are these key areas down here. So we've got a fair value gap, we've got an order block, and let's just put in our OTE level from here to here. Now, what we can get is a possible rejection from this area. Price come back into this fair value gap, taps into this order block, rejects away from it, and then we come lower. And you can see how nicely this is matching with my key regions down here as well. So this is a possibility. Now let's go on to Ethereum. Ethereum, wow, what's been going on? So we've had a liquidation of this level down here. We've had a complete market maker, a completion of a market maker sell model, although pretty messy. Buy side, sell side, completed, original consolidation down here. We've tapped into the psychological level of 4K and we've closed below it. We've also, interestingly, come much lower and tapped into this order block down here. Let's go on the weekly time frame. You can see the order block down here. We've tapped it, we rejected it. We've come into the first key level of this complete fib. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one is here. Tapped into the order block, rejected away from it. Now there's a possibility because what we can see is price has done exactly what we were expecting. Let me just remove this fib. Let me put on a fib here to here. Now, price has done exactly what we were expecting. Coming to the discount side of the dealing range, rejected off an order block, rejected off the OTE level. There's a possibility now this is going to drive the market up, depending on how we close on the total market cap chart. Because if we close bullishly, if we close with a rejection, like I said, this is likely going to come to this area here. Now, if we don't get that, although there are possibilities and signs that we could pull back a bit higher up, I want to see Ethereum come into these regions. So let's look at this dealing range. Come into the discount side of this dealing range from here to here. Come into this fair value gap down here. And then we can now draw in a new fib from here to here. So let's just call it 3,000, around that region. Realistically, if we start breaking low down here, we're going to see a lot of altcoins at all-time lows. So the most important thing for us right now is to be patient and be fearful when people are greedy, and be greedy when people are fearful. We're hitting fear in the market. Therefore, it's important for us to now look for possibilities for entry on some of the coins. If coins have hit all-time lows or areas where you can dollar cost average, you should start considering to do that. One of the coins that I mentioned to you guys was Algo. I said to you, I want to see BTC get into the region of 4K and Algo to around 0.20. We came just shy of 0.20, but there's a possibility for an entry and you can take it. I want to see it get lower now because of how we've reacted aggressively on Ethereum and we didn't move much on Algo. This gives us more of a reason to believe that Algo will come lower and much lower. So therefore, keep an eye on the charts, remain patient, and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoy these types of videos, I trade crypto using the ICT strategy, and I make daily and weekly videos, and I'm also doing an education series for basic to intermediates that don't understand much about ICT. So go and check that out, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.